Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Getting Off. I am your host, the patron saint of podcasting, the Warden Mad Reader, and I'm here with my co-hosts this evening. First, she is host of the She Leads Showcase Inside the Mind of In the Crowd and Storytime with the reigning, defending, undisputed trick or trivia champion, Ms. Katie Kinsey Bebe.
Hey, hi, hello.
And returning, finally tying it up with Sarah as far as appearances go and shows that she's appeared on. She is one half of Final Girls Podcast. Kellie, how are you?
I'm great. Yeah, this is my third time being on. So excited.
I know. And we are happy to have you. And joining us for the very first time, someone that I had the pleasure of sitting down and talking my favorite horror movie of all time with for her show, the Terrorific Lady Brandy. Brandy, how are you?
I'm doing fabulous. How is everybody?
Good.
Reek is going to be showing up. So Will I sent the link to our group chat, and Will's like, oh, link, and he's been drinking while watching Saturday Night's Main Event with my best friend John, because yesterday was John's birthday. So so now that he has the link, if he shows up,
Gotcha. Yeah. And there's Kellie in the chat as well. Look at her.
Kellie in the chat. So we might have some party crashers, but
that's okay.
We are here today, ladies and gentlemen, to discuss, as actually Sarah dubbed it, horny vampire movies, and I just ran with that. But it is our panel for vampire movies. Reek, who I said will be here sooner rather than later, was requesting this, and he did not get it the last time we did a poll. So he campaigned hard and he won, and we are here to talk. And I know what he wants to talk about, but is everyone actually? I have a question for the three of you. Does having a vampire in the movie or a movie about vampires automatically make it a horror movie?
No.
There
are definitely non-horror vampire movies.
Twilight is not a horror movie.
I agree.
Yeah, I would have to say no, with Twilight being the main example. And then you also got Vampire Suck, which is a comedy with vampires in it. No.
And then you also have Vampire's Kiss, which is not even like technically about vampires, but it is like tangentially related to vampires, and it is one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. So,
well, they did show up, and John has all of his clothes on, so I'll let them say hi.
Hello.
Hi, John. Hi, Will.
Guys.
Hi.
You guys been drinking?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. No. Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Cheers.
Nice to see you. I'm glad to see two of my favorite people spending time together without me. It does not give me FOMO at all.
Did you know John's really good at bowling?
Yes, I did. He was in a bowling
he's
league.
a phenomenal bowler. He taught me how to bowl tonight.
And his little sunny thing popped out of the ball.
Oh,
it's true.
Hi, Allison. I can hear you.
He kicked
oh my gosh, so many people. Hi.
No, it's a little party.
Yeah, we're having a party. All right. We wish he was here. Love you, Matt.
I wish
we
I
love
was
you
there
guys.
too.
We love you,
Also,
Matt.
hi to Colin. Love you guys. Have fun.
All right. Love you guys. Bye.
Caroline says she loves
Keep all your clothes on. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Speaking of horny vampire movies, it feels like we're shooting one.
They might be.
Oh, I have it hanging up there. Not so little known fact, because Katie knows, and anyone that will listen that I've told about this, but I actually got to star in a not star, I shouldn't say star. I was an extra.
He was
but I got to play.
Star.
I got to play a vampire in a vampire movie. Unfortunately, it didn't come out. So John and I were playing Xbox with a friend of ours who was crowdfunding to direct and produce a movie. Two of them. And being a big wrestling fan, one of the people that they cast in the movie was Kevin Nash. And we had just been, me being the big horror fan that I am, me and Ryan would talk about horror movies all the time. And they were telling me about Kevin Nash being there. And he's like, listen, if you guys come down to Austin, Texas, we'll let you come on set. If I can, I'll set some time aside. You guys can meet Kevin Nash. It'll be a good time. You can see how movies are made. So John and I hopped in a car. When they started shooting, we drove down to Austin and we stayed there for a couple nights. And after we got there, he's like, hey, you guys want to be extras in the movie? So John played a zombie hand at the end of the movie. His arm got all done up, and they made me up as a vampire. and I have a picture of me and all of the other extra vampires, along with Kevin Nash, that is like blown up huge in my house, way over there. But it was a really cool experience, and I got an IMDb credit for it, which is cool.
That's
I think
amazing.
I'm like Minion number 8 or some shit.
Number 8.
That's making me wonder if I have an IMDb credit. It's like it would be the smallest thing ever. But when I used to work in film, they like needed someone one day, and they were just like, "Can we just like throw you into the scene?" And I was like, yeah, sure." And I don't even remember if I really had lines or if I was just there. But that was like forever ago. It's not as cool as like acting with Kevin Nash though.
Well, so if you blinked, you would have missed the scene that I was in. Literally.
Same with
because
me.
I did, and I had to rewind it. But no, it was cool to get to sit down and do that with them and play a vampire. And I got to keep the vampire teeth. So
Nice.
those came home with me, which was nice. But it was a really good time. And I think I've killed enough time. So whenever Reek shows up, he shows
said
up.
2 minutes.
Well, he said
Just
5
got home.
minutes.
Like 10 minutes ago.
7 minutes
Got
ago.
home.
Yeah, but he said 5
Traffic.
minutes 7 minutes ago. So
Traffic.
he'll be here, and when he gets here, I'll let him talk about Nosferatu, and then you guys can all talk about how much you
I can't wait
enjoyed
to
it.
watch you
And
guys
then
fight again.
I'll wait to talk about how I didn't. But Katie,
Can't wait. Yeah.
why don't you give us your first movie that you would like to discuss?
Do I want to start with like a big one? Yeah. Okay. So Sinners was fucking incredible.
Oh, damn it.
Now, I did talk to Brandy, and she has not seen Sinners yet.
I haven't either. Shit.
I haven't.
We'll go-
Okay. I will go very.
No spoilers.
I will try. No spoilers. I will try. Michael B. Jordan's acting is absolutely incredible. You sometimes forget that he is playing 2 people. Like that's how good it is. The way it's shot, the music throughout the entire movie. The vampires are creepy, but also very chill.
They were like she's not bullshitting. Like they were very nice, charming vampires.
Like
And-
so, it's not a spoiler, but at one point they're dancing outside
Okay.
to an Irish jig, and it's absolutely one of the best parts of the movie.
I did actually hear that the music was really good.
Yeah.
The music is
Oh,
fantastic.
insanely good.
To add on, because I went and saw it, like I said, I think it was like 3 or 4 weeks ago. I was telling
Mhm.
Randy I've been on a movie spree lately at the theaters, trying to catch up to Katie, but I'm never gonna get there because she goes every week almost. But there was a point where I kind of forgot what I was there to see. I was enjoying the movie, but there's a
You
point
forgot it was a vampire
where I'm
movie.
watching it and I was like, when the vampire showed up, I was like, oh yeah, that's what this is. Which is kind of cool to enjoy a movie so much that you forget the whole reason you're there until it shows up.
Definitely.
So
yeah.
I talked about this, the only criticism I had was I could have used subtitles because the southern accents got really thick and it was kind of hard to understand some of the things that were being said at points. But other than that, I enjoyed the shit out of it.
That's one of the reasons I don't go to the theater as much anymore, is because I'm so used to watching movies with the subtitles on that when I watch one without, I'm literally like, what are they even saying? It's like my brain can't like take it in anymore without seeing the
Where are
words
my
on screen.
subtitles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm
I
not
have-
hard of hearing, but I just like subtitles.
Yeah,
Me too.
yeah, same way. Like I have to like anytime I see a movie in the theater, I have to like just lean like forward, just like just like turn to kind of turn like this. It's like, am I hearing this correctly? It's just like that.
Totally.
And I know you're a big physical media person, right, Brandy, like me?
Yes.
Yeah, because I realized at some point that all of that digital movie stuff that I have is licensed, and those licenses could go away, and then I've paid for it, and then it is no longer there. So I like owning a physical copy. I don't actually take the discs out and physically put them in, but I like to have them just in case. I stream everything, but
I'm the opposite. I like, because we probably talked about this last time, but I'm like kind of a neat, well, actually you can't see this right now, but I'm in a very chaotic room because there's all these movies, video games, everything all over the shelves. That's Nirvan's fault because I know because like some people just, they like to see their collection visibly, but me, I'm like, this is too much information like for my eyes. It just like I prefer kind of a more minimalist thing. And so all my shit is digital. And I've tried to get Nirvan to do it too. Brandy Nirvan is my fiance, and he won't do it. He likes to touch and see.
My wife is the same way. I know what she's a fan of, and I will go and I will buy her things. And she's like, I don't like to wear my fandom on the outside like you do. I like to enjoy my stuff, but I don't have to have like a room full of everything that I love. And I'm like, no, I do. I want it. It makes me happy. Surround me with it. Like you see what's behind me. You don't see the machete and the Jason masks and everything that are on the other side of the screen on the wall, or the posters here. Like, you know, I surround myself with them. My wife's the same way, and I understand that. Kellie, what's the first movie on your list?
Well, like Katie, I'm like, do I want to start with the big one or not? I have a very firm favorite vampire movie because it's one of my favorite movies of all time, and it is Interview with the Vampire. And that is because when I was in high school, I was super into the Anne Rice books, and I read all of them, and then I saw the movie. It blew my mind. It still holds up. It's so fucking good. The sequel, not good. Not good, but I love the casting of like Tom Cruise as Lestat, and like Brad Pitt is amazing as Louis, and Kirsten Dunst is amazing as Claudia, and you know, Christian Slater is great, Antonio Banderas. It's such a cool cast, and I feel like it has such atmosphere, the like old timey New Orleans kind of feel. I love that movie. I can watch it any day.
For me, the issue that I'm going to have with Reek's first movie and the movie that Reek's going to talk about,
pieces.
I have a hard time with period pieces. I do.
To be fair, it jumps back to like the present day.
I was going to say, what's nice about this is it does jump back and forth. It's not all set with, you know, old timey speak and everything. But yeah, no, that is, and one of the movies that I'm going to talk about is actually a period piece that I enjoyed very much, mind you. Okay. So, miss,
but not Nosferatu. Is not your period piece favorite.
No,
okay.
no, it was not.
No, I need him to show up because I need this fight to happen.
He literally 2 minutes ago said about to hop on.
He's a guy. He takes forever.
That's like the thing you say when you're still like 20 minutes down the freeway. Like, I'm getting on right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, I'm almost there. Just getting in your car. I'm almost there.
Yeah.
What about you, Brandy?
I'm the type that like my vampires to be just like hideous, disgusting creatures, because that's the way I just love my vampires. And so my pick is going to have to be 30 Days of Night. I love the setting, how it's in a town in Alaska that has 30 days of just, it's in the title, 30 Days of Night. I normally don't like Josh Hartnett as an actor, but I thought he did really good in this. And I think it's Danny, I forget how to pronounce his last name, like Houston, yeah. He was excellent as the lead, like evil vampire, and just like plenty of vampire blood and gore, and the fact that isolation is one theme that I love in horror. That will be my pick.
Great choice.
Once Rick figures out his audio, we'll bring him back. I agree with you though. I enjoyed. You can add him back. We'll see.
Okay. We'll see.
I was good. I just needed to connect my headphones. I didn't realize that they weren't hooked up.
Well, you were good, but we weren't because it was echoing.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, from Young Kings Wrestling, host of the Havoc Hour, he is King Reek, House of Havoc, first of his name, or as we like to refer to him here on Getting Off, Dr. Reek Baker, BBC. Hi, Reek.
What's up, y'all?
Hi, Reek.
How we doing, folks?
30 Days of Night, which was Brandy's pick.
Okay.
Okay. And I agree with everything she said. Being in Alaska and having the ability to utilize the 30 Days of Night, where the vampires have all of that time to go out and do stuff. There's no sun. There's no limit to their powers. The cast, Josh Hartnett is fantastic in there. You have the whole subplot of like his broken marriage play out through the movie as you go about it, as well as, oh yeah, so my wife, who I'm having issues with, or ex-wife, is here and I have to deal with that, but also vampires are murdering everyone I know and love. And we're trapped in a blizzard.
Oh, yeah.
It's complicated.
I love that. Very complicated, but I enjoyed it. It's fun, and the vampires look fantastic. The effects are great. I enjoy the shit out of that movie.
I do. It's some dope stuff. I like the idea that you got these vampires and they're speaking like different languages. That was kind of cool. Like we just almost like they're almost a whole nother species. They're not just undead, fang wearing bloodsuckers. Like they actually have some nuance to them. I can appreciate something like that. One of the rare times I appreciated a Josh Hartnett performance. We don't get many of those out of me, but this was certainly one of them. I have to give it to him for sure.
I feel like
I enjoyed it.
He's been kind of coming into his own lately, though. Like I didn't consider myself a fan of him before, but I really do now. I know Trap is controversial. I love it for how
I love Trap.
Okay, I love Trap. I think we talked about this last
you.
time. I fucking love Trap, and I love him in it. It's so campy and stupid.
Thank
Then
you.
I also love him in the Black Mirror episode with Aaron Paul. Incredible acting. Highly recommend.
Okay.
And I really want to see his new movie Fight or Flight, because that also looks really fun. So
Oof, Trap.
Trap is so fun. I'll defend that.
I have the name of the movie, but I always confuse these two movies for some reason, and they're barely alike. But every time I think Josh Hartnett, my favorite Josh Hartnett movie is The Faculty.
Oh, sure.
But I always think Disturbing Behavior for some reason, when instead of The Faculty. Disturbing Behavior is the first one, and I have to know that's not it. What is the name of that movie? No, it's The Faculty. So
I don't even know Disturbing Behavior.
never heard
it
of it.
has no, it's really good. It's got Katie Holmes in it.
Okay. All right.
It's kind of like reprogramming teens who are
Oh, and James Marsden. Okay. He's in everything.
unruly to be, not necessarily Stepford wives, but like you're taking 90s teens and trying to make them like well-behaved 50s kids, and there are some issues there.
Interesting.
I enjoyed the shit out of
Okay.
it. But
Sounds cool.
Reek, you're here. I was going to go next, but since you made it, you want to take the floor and talk?
Okay. All right. Well, we know which one I got. I'm trying to figure out where to start here. So before I saw the current Nosferatu, I had to go back and watch the original because I had only seen a couple scenes of it. It's a silent movie, not my bag. So I need reference points before I just go into a reboot. So I watched it through and I thought, okay, hindsight, this is some good stuff for the time period. I can appreciate it as being one of those original horror movie nights. Okay. Then I watched this. And obviously, for the most part, you're following the same story, the same trend. But to really boil it down, and Matt, you can appreciate this, and this is why I chose to go this direction with it. This is essentially a tragic, terrible love story between two demons. That's really what's going on here. Like, the whole movie starts off with this girl who is clearly a young teenager, making this pact with a demon. And not thinking to herself that, one, I haven't even seen this person, this entity that I'm speaking to. Hey, listen, I didn't have that kind of time. I was in a rush. But this presence that she feels, because she's clearly like an empath or some type of has some type of spiritual power, can between the veil and stuff like that. And you keep hearing the voice telling her you're not for humankind. So that's where the whole two demons thing comes from. But she makes this pledge before even seeing, and then she sees the monster that she pledged herself to. And then she tried to go and get married and say, hey, maybe this bond will make me free. But he said, no. we made a deal. That's how this is going to go down. You need to get rid of him, and he does that, and now we will come back together. Everything else in between is, we're rehashing the story of the original movie, but that's what's at the root of this. And the more those elements get explored, I think that's what really got me hooked into it. The more the elements of it that Eggers was exploring, I just got deeper into it because it's like it's an onion. It's an onion. It's not just your typical reboot. It goes so much deeper, and that's why I love it. And period piece be damned. I'm not a period piece person myself. I did not care. I was hooked into it from the moment I watched all the way on through.
So Reek, I finished watching that movie like 30 minutes before I came onto this podcast because I knew someone was gonna talk about it. I had seen the silent film like 20 years ago in school, but that's not fresh in my memory. But yeah, I'm really curious to hear everyone's opinions on this. It's a good choice though.
Yeah, I saw it when it first came out in theaters, so I've had quite a bit of distance between then and now, but I just remember really liking it. I thought it was fantastic. I'm a big Robert Eggers fan anyway. I've seen every one of his films.
Sure.
The two things that really stuck out to me, actually three, were Lily Rose Depp's performance, Nicholas Holt's performance, and the shadow work that was used in the film. Just like the opening scene, just like seeing the curtain flutter and just Nosferatu in the shadows. Oh, that's just beautiful. That's a beautiful shot.
Totally.
And another performance who I don't think gets enough love was Aaron Taylor. I was not that big a fan of his initially, but watching the way that his character shifts from the beginning all the way on through to the tragic end was beautiful. It really was. Like, this guy goes from this, superior and upper class, like, nobleman who's unfazed by whatever goes on to just, he is lost, distraught, just crumbled to pieces. Like, it's beautiful to watch. The transition that takes place over it. So he needs to get a lot more love because his performance after Lily and after Nick, his was right up there. It was beautiful.
Did you see him in that movie with Jake Gyllenhaal where he's like a murderer? What was that movie called? Because if you liked his performance in this, you should really see that. I mean, it's a really hard movie to watch, but we're horror fans, so I think you can handle it. But it's a really grim movie, and his performance is. I wasn't really a fan of his before that, but that kind of blew me away. I'll look up the title. I'll look up the title.
Yeah, it sounds like something I've heard of.
I'll look it up.
Katie?
Oh, I fucks with Nosferatu. I told Matt that, and he was like, "Oh, I don't understand." And then Reek watched it, and he was like, he liked it. And I was like, "Oh my god, finally!" The cinematography is absolutely beautiful. Again, if you don't like period pieces, or if you do, the way everything is just shot, like Brandy was talking about, like the curtains and everything, the shadow play that they do, absolutely incredible. The acting, Lily Rose Depp didn't need to do all of that, but she did, and she nailed it, and she fucking killed it. It's just, yeah, it's a long movie, but like I sat in the theater the whole time. I was fully focused. The graphic nature of some of the kills, kind of fucking crazy, but like it works. Killing kids is a big no-no in horror movies, but Nosferatu does it. I didn't
love the pigeon getting its head bit off like right in front of the camera, but
yeah, not a fan. But
it's just part of that. It's part of that. Like, it's almost like a zombie infection. Like he's under that spell that a lot of them get caught under, and it just transforms you completely to the point that he was doing that type of shit. And the kids was Ellen's fault, truthfully.
Well, also those kids were really annoying, like
they were. The monster getting them was foreshadowed crazily, but I mean, it's Ellen's fault. It's Ellen's fault. She thought, hey, I'll show you. I'll have my husband come, show you what's up, And he said, okay, cool. That's how you feel. I'm gonna fuck these kids up.
I want to hear Matt's opinion on this so bad because I can see you just like.
Oh, he's the complete opposite.
No, I know.
He's the complete opposite.
I know. I'm just gonna throw out my let me throw out my just final opinion on it, which is that I didn't love it. I did think it was really good, really horrific, really strong, like as a reboot. But like the first like 40 minutes of the movie where Nicholas Holt's character is going to the castle and like traveling there and then like living there for a little bit, that part of the movie grabbed me so I was like mesmerized by like that whole thing. When they got back to like the standard town, I kind of started to lose interest a little bit, and then it does go on too long. Like movies don't need to be that long. It's just a thing that just bothers me. But anyway, so if they had tightened it up a bit and kept that same like atmosphere from the beginning of the movie, like all through, oh my God, it would have just wowed me. But still strong movie. Matt, please.
So let's start at the beginning. Reek went to go see this in theaters, and Reek came to us and was like, "You have to go see this. This is perfect for getting off. There's all this sex and violence and horror and blah, blah, blah. You need to go see it. You need to go see it. You need to go see it." And I told him that Kate was pregnant, I think Kate was still pregnant with Olivia, and us getting out to the movies just wasn't a thing that was happening. But it dropped on Peacock, and Kate and I sat down, and we made the mistake of watching the extended cut, which, if the original movie is long, then this movie was way too fucking long.
No.
It was only a couple
both
minutes.
of
It
us,
wasn't that much.
both of us ended up being very bored, but that's neither here nor there. Like, I have no problem being the odd man out. I have no problem being like, hey, it's cool that everyone loved this movie. It wasn't for me, because there is a lot of horror out there that is for me. I guarantee there's going to be one or two that we might talk about tonight that is for me that not everyone is going to love. But what I did realize this week, because I talked about how I watched a vampire movie, the vampire movie was Bram Stoker's Dracula. So what I did not know that I found out this week is Nosferatu, the original movie, is a unauthorized retelling of Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yep.
That they ordered that movie to be destroyed after winning a copyright lawsuit. Obviously, not all of the copies were destroyed. Because as I'm watching this, I'm like, this feels like Nosferatu if Nosferatu was good. Because all of the stuff that Rick promised me in Nosferatu, Bram Stoker's Dracula has.
That's fair.
Far more nudity, far more violence. We had Anthony Hopkins. We had
Gary Oldman,
who is arguably the greatest actor of all time.
That's fair.
Keanu, hey.
Yeah,
hey.
See, I did not like
I know.
Keanu in this. I did not.
It's not his best performance, but
it's not. But that's really the only downside for me. I mean, even Winona, I would take her over Lily Rose Depp in that role. The cast is fantastic. The movie had me. I was enjoying it. I'm like, if this was Nosferatu, I would have enjoyed this. Maybe the Germans shouldn't have taken this and made it worse, and then I might have liked it. But that's just me.
I'm with you. I actually do prefer Bram Stoker's Dracula in general. And I actually didn't, until I was just watching Nosferatu, I did not remember that it was an unauthorized, remake of the story. And I was like, the whole time I was like, this is just Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was like almost beat for beat. Like, I could know what was going to happen because it was so close to the Dracula story. Anyway, but I'm with you. I do prefer that one.
I also prefer the ending.
Yeah, it's a theft of the novelization. The movie, I'm sure, made changes because of that. I loved Bram Stoker's Dracula, by the way. I actually watched it not that long ago. No Winona Ryder slander gets tolerated, but I am not going to sit here and say that I would take her performance over Lily Rose's, because
You don't
Lily,
have to. I said.
I'm just saying. Lily was working her ass off. I'm sorry. Like,
listen, I know you loved the ending where she held on to him and the sun came up and then they died together and blah, blah, blah. I far more prefer the ending where they get to his castle and they stake him in the heart, and then she does the Romeo and Juliet ending with herself, where she was in love with him the entire time and left her husband versus protecting her husband in Nosferatu. That's just more my speed. I enjoyed that them fighting all those people in the cast, like that whole end battle. Like, I enjoyed that so much more. It was way more for me. And again, Gary Oldman and Anthony Hopkins trumps everyone in Nosferatu, hands down, period, for me. So
whoa. You're not about to do William Dafoe like that.
That was
Everyone.
the only caveat I was gonna give was Willem Dafoe.
That's what I'm saying. Like I was gonna let that one go, but not Willem Dafoe. Goddamn it, no.
Willem is fantastic. Do I think he's better than Anthony Hopkins or Gary Oldman? No, I do not.
I'm not saying he's better, but like you're saying over everybody, like
everybody. Yeah, those two over everybody.
Yeah,
no. That's just listen. We had Dracula's Three Brides. You know that whole scene with Keanu in the bed, like
God.
Everything you promised me Nosferatu was going to be, Bram Stoker's Dracula was.
For the record, I said it was very horny. I didn't say there would be a lot of action. I said it was very horny.
This was far more horny.
The literal meaning being that there was more implied than there was actual.
There's a lot of sexual tension in that movie.
Yeah, the woman was just trying to get laid, and the fact is her husband wasn't doing it, and the person who could do what needed to get done is a demon, and she's not trying to go back to that. Because she generally did love her husband, but she was not doing his husbandly duties, and so it's like, what are you supposed to do at that point? You know? She doesn't want to do it, but she kind of doesn't really have an option if she wants to achieve satisfaction. That's kind of what was going on here.
Since we brought up Bram Stoker's Dracula, Brandy, thoughts on Bram Stoker's Dracula?
I'm probably going to be one of the few odd people out here and say that it never really appealed to me. Like, the first time I watched it, I sat down and was just like, really? Keanu, I'm sorry, my dude. I love you, but you're not really the best of actors, and his performance I did not like in Dracula. Now, as far as Gary Oldman, I liked young Dracula versus just the old Dracula with the weird hairstyle and clothes that he had going on. Because now all I think of, maybe it's because I saw that parody of The Simpsons when they did Bram Stoker's Dracula. Right before I watched the movie, so maybe that kind of tainted my view of that movie. But it just wasn't for me.
Okay. Katie?
Oh, Bram Stoker's Dracula. I don't think I've definitely seen it, but I don't remember anything about it. So when I saw Nosferatu, I wasn't thinking about that one. So. Yeah.
I own it, and I knew I owned it for a reason, but it had been a very long time since I had seen it, which is why I'm sitting here and I'm watching this. I'm like, oh, this is Nosferatu, but entertaining, and I actually enjoy this. So,
okay.
I prefer the
now
look,
let's talk
too.
Yes.
Of Dracula versus Nosferatu, who just kind of when he was naked, just kind of looked like a corpsey zombie type. I was just not into it.
This was the thing. This was the thing, because the main difference between the original and this one is that Eggers was going for a realistic approach. So, number one, the clothing and all this stuff, he's supposed to be a Transylvanian nobleman in his past life or whatever.
Yeah.
So that whole appeal. But then he is, I forget what the term was, but essentially he was kind of like some type of dark wizard or some shit like that. So that brought him back to life. So he's doubled down as a vampire / zombie. So he's just rotting flesh on 2 feet, basically, in his form. So it's how it's supposed to look, I guess.
Also, I know you and Sarah constantly talk about the female gaze versus the male gaze, and Monica Bellucci was definitely there for the male gaze. This movie.
Well, and that's funny because then later she was in The Matrix with Keanu as Persephone. So
also there for the male gaze.
Yes.
Well, very much so.
Gaze. Excuse you.
Or just the gaze.
Yeah. Let's be real. She's objectively hot. So
she's fucking stunning. It's not fair.
Keanu is there for my gaze. So.
So now, I said that I had a movie, and we got a little bit of a spoiler on this on the episode that we just did of The Gory Hole, where we interviewed Reek about his love of horror. But my first movie is probably one of, not my favorite, because we'll talk about our favorite of, or my favorite of all time. but one of my favorites, mostly for the fact that the vocals for this movie were done by my favorite singer, Jonathan Davis from Korn, and that is what, Katie?
Oh fuck! I don't remember which one it is.
Queen of the Damned.
Queen of the Damned.
Damn it! I was like, it's not from Dusk Till Dawn. What is the other one?
Oh man, I'm sorry, and I already shit on it when I was like the interview with the vampire sequel because I loved the book so much. So,
which is fine. Again, you talked about bad campy movies. This was definitely a bad campy movie, but
yeah.
I'm listening to Jonathan Davis sing to me the entire movie, and that alone. But we were taking vampires, we were bringing them into modern times, which I appreciated. Akasha, the Queen of the Damned, fantastic in that movie. Great look. While the fighting and some of the vampire movements might not hold up today, and all that, I enjoy the shit out of that movie. I enjoy the story. I enjoy all of it. I know this is no Lestat compared to the Lestat that we talked about.
That's what I was going to say.
But
I dearly love the Tom Cruise Lestat, not the Stuart Townsend one. But
I enjoyed the shit out of this movie.
To be fair to you, I actually haven't seen it in many years. I just remember being bitter at how bad of an adaptation it was of the book. So I could give it another try. Maybe it is actually not as bad as I remember.
I haven't read the book, so I can't tell you if it's a terrible adaptation of the book or not. I go into it for the fun, and again, the soundtrack, which I really enjoy. The soundtrack is fantastic.
Okay.
Go ahead, Reek.
I don't remember this one. I know I said I was going to watch it back. I've just been busy. I do not remember much about this movie, but I do recall that I did really enjoy it.
Katie, Brandy.
I mean, you got what Queen of the Damned is just like early 2000s metalcore, which seemed to be just like common in horror movies. If you think of just like Freddy versus Jason, that soundtrack absolutely slapped. I love that soundtrack. Movie doofus, fun, bad, but I love it, which is how I also feel about Queen of the Damned. I never read any of the books, so again, I can't say whether it's a good adaptation or not, but it's one that I go back to like just for the hell of it and just for fun. Sure. And so I can jam out to Jonathan Davis also singing to me.
And Slept So Long I used for the Instagram post, and it is one of my favorite songs off that soundtrack or period.
Ooh,
I love Slept So Long. Slept So Long is fantastic.
Great song.
Have you seen this movie, Katie?
No.
Well, we might have to put that on Shit Matt Make Katie watch.
Oh boy.
I mean, I can just like watch it myself. It doesn't have to be the
I don't know. I feel like I want to hear about it though, and on air.
Fuck. Oh, we'll talk after.
The more movies on that list, the longer you get me podcasting. Remember, we got to get through the whole list.
You're podcasting until you die. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just
Katie, as your advocate, I would advise you to take this up. Let's offer.
Fine, we'll put it on the list. Ta-da.
Katie, what's your next movie?
So it is technically a horror movie, but it's a horror comedy. It's Abigail.
Oh, I haven't seen that one yet. That's a vampire movie?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
So I won't like super spoil, but like the little girl is like a vampire, and they kind of tell you that in the trailer.
I don't watch trailers.
Vampire.
Okay,
That's
I'm
fair.
gonna put it on my list.
I highly recommend. Very funny. The cast chemistry is very good. The action throughout is crazy because like she's a tiny girl and it's grown ass adults and they're getting their asses beat consistently throughout the movie. Just everything about that movie just had me smiling. I don't know what it is about it. Maybe because it was comedy and I enjoy it. And like Melissa Barrera's in it. Dan Stevens. Catherine Newton's in it.
Oh, okay.
Cloud.
I didn't know it was horror comedy. That sells me a lot harder on it. So
I think you'd like it.
I really enjoyed it. Katie recommended it to me. I liked it, I think, better my second watch through. I might have been distracted my first watch through, but I actually bought it. I own it. was on the list of things I went through because I started shortly after that. But no, it's a really fun movie, and I enjoy it. And there's some nice subplots in there about people's past and everything too, to kind of carry you through to the ending. But no, it's a fun movie, and I enjoy it.
Cool. I look forward to that.
It was, yeah, it's very unserious at a certain point, but I think the subversion is very very interesting because it's like there's up until the reveal of that, it's like you kind of they put this implication that there's something else out there that's a bigger threat, and then no, this is this child who is going to be chewing on your ass all night, like this. That's kind of crazy, and it just gets more and more fun from that point on.
And gory and all the things. So,
I mean, by the way, don't let me hold you back from like fully discussing a movie. Like, you can spoil it if you want. I'll still like it.
Well, I know Brandy also said she hasn't seen it, so we'll.
Okay.
I don't like things being spoiled for me, so I don't do it for other people.
I appreciate it, but.
So, by the way, we are right before NXT Battleground tomorrow, where Joe Hendry defends his TNA championship. We are going to be discussing Final Destination Bloodlines, and that will be a full spoiler review. So if you haven't seen that,
I'm so excited.
I will avoid then. I just rewatched all of the Final Destination movies in preparation of
That's
seeing
what I
that.
did too.
And I haven't yet. And I was also looking for Final Girls. There kind of are some, but like anyway. So no, I'm really looking forward to seeing that one. I don't go to the theater that much. I just don't really have a good experience. I kind of live out in the country. And so when I go to the theater, the people there are just kind of like assholes, to be honest. It's not a good experience. Like, they're very obnoxious. So,
well, Katie lives in there ever since we introduced her to movies like 4 years ago.
Shut the fuck up. I liked movies before I met both of you, by the way.
Before that, she had never heard of a movie.
Never seen a single movie
that is
in
the
my
running
life.
gag.
It's
stupid. It's not that far off from truth. If you had the list of movies she hadn't seen by
no.
Although I might just go ahead and like TC told me that it was dope, so I might really have to check. I told him I haven't watched anything past 2 because it just kept going and going. I didn't keep up, so I might have to just go and finish connecting those dots and then go.
You have until 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow to join me, TC, and Katie.
You don't necessarily have to watch all of them though to understand the movie.
That's the beauty.
I heard there's a timeline.
Okay.
There are some kind of threads woven through.
Like I know the end of 5 leads into the first one. I know that.
Well,
and
yeah.
This one is like kind of between two different.
This movie, you've seen 2 and 1, and like those kind of get mentioned briefly, but like not crazy. So like you've seen those ones, so you're literally fine.
I feel like you can enjoy them even like at taking each one separately. It's just if you have seen them all, then sometimes you get some fun Easter eggs tying into the other ones. But it doesn't it wouldn't kill your enjoyment like if you didn't see all of them at once. Like it's not that big a deal.
Love Easter eggs.
Me too.
That's one thing. Like it's just like with MCU. Like if I miss a movie or a show, I gotta go back and watch it because I like to be the Leo meme where I see some shit and I'm just like. Yeah, that's me.
I am sorry for getting us so far off track talking about Final Destination. Brandy, you are up. Do you have another vampire movie for us?
Yes. This is one that I have always loved. It is the fabulous Robert Rodriguez directed it. It is From Dusk Till Dawn. Which and it doesn't start off as like a vampire movie at all. Like you watch it. You think, it's just this hostage kind of heist vampire, not vampire, this hostage heist kind of movie before you even get to the vampires. And it's just, I love it. Like George Clooney was the big standout for me because this role was a complete 180 from anything that he had done. And then just the fact that the club was called the Titty Twister, so the club they all ended up that it's like the vampire, I guess, hangout. I almost called it holdout, but the vampire hangout where they lure in truckers and
Like a
bikers.
lair.
Like, their lair. Yes, I thought that was just like a very clever way. Just have it as a strip club to lure these, like all these dudes in. Tom Savini was fantastic in this movie, Sex Machine.
Sex Machine.
And there's so just many quotable things. Like the one quote I remember the most is just like at the end where one of the guys was like, "Hey, did psychos do that?" And George Clooney was like, "Psychos? These were not psychos. These were vampires. Psychos do not explode when sunlight hits them. I don't give a fuck how crazy they are." So,
that is a brilliant line.
So I could keep going on about it, but in the interest of just like not taking time away from everybody else who wants to talk about it, I'm going to zip my lips for the time being.
Oh no, I'm with you 100%. This is my all-time favorite vampire movie, my all-time favorite George Clooney movie, and my all-time favorite Robert Rodriguez movie, all wrapped into one. I love this movie. Also, my favorite Salma Hayek movie. So yeah, it's got 4 awards right there.
You ever seen Desperado? Or
I have.
Once Upon a Time in Mexico?
I have. And did they have vampires?
Touche. Fair enough. Because you said Salma Hayek movie. I'm just like, I mean, we got options, but
we have a lot of options. None of those options have Satanica Pandemonium.
I can't argue with that point at all. That is
absolutely cannot.
Easily rewatchable.
You talked about the quotes. Cheech playing 3 different characters in this movie, and everything he does is absolutely quotable, and a lot of it is stuff that you probably don't want to quote now. Yeah. But Sex Machine is fantastic. The whole movie, even like the absurdity of it, because at one point Sex Machine turns into a dog or a giant rat or some weird monster. It's like, how did that happen? But like, you don't even care because you're having so much fun with the vampires. No, I enjoy the shit out of this.
I like it a lot. We talked on our podcast about the differences and similarities between Robert Rodriguez and Tarantino. And yes, I know Tarantino is in From Dusk Till Dawn. He's maybe the weakest part of it. But I tend to prefer his movies as opposed to Robert Rodriguez, only because they like are doing similar things, but Tarantino's version of that thing just tends to appeal to me more. But I do still like From Dusk Till Dawn. I do like the bait and switch element of it. It's a fun movie for sure. Super gory.
You and I have talked about that when you were discussing the Grindhouse films and us preferring Death Proof to Planet Terror.
Yep. Because I mean, Planet Terror has shades of From Dusk Till Dawn in it. It's just Death Proof I just so much prefer.
Yeah, Quentin, that character was looking a little interesting in hindsight. Between that and the obvious foot fetishes throughout his movies, I got questions about him nowadays.
We do not kink shame. We do not yucky yums.
Yeah, but we don't need to see his kink and everything.
It's not even kink shame. I'm watching Kill Bill. I don't need to see Uma Thurman's feet, bro. Like that's
extreme close-ups.
Yeah.
Big toe.
Like she has there every single movie in Pulp Fiction. Every single one. It's like
Death Proof also. Like, and I don't need to see him sucking on Salma Hayek's like foot as she's like dripping.
Oh my god! Like nice trick. It was very well set up. I do
it on your own.
I'm not. Yeah, like I'm not kink shaming. I just don't need to see you kink. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly.
And up close and personal like that.
Yeah, I don't think there were feet in Reservoir Dogs, like close-ups of feet. That's probably like the one reason
because there's no like main female characters. That's the only reason.
It's like, hey, it's like what? People don't want to see close-ups of male feet. I mean,
no.
were their feet in Hateful Eight?
Not that I can remember. It'd be funny if it was like Walton Goggins' feet or something.
It was kind of. It was kind of cold for feet to be out. I'm just.
Can have the
Walton
dogs
Goggins
out.
is fantastic, so I'd be okay with that.
Right.
Now that being said, Salma Hayek puts her foot in my face. It's I can't
Yeah,
I
we
can't
had this
confirm nor
conversation.
deny what's gonna happen. Like I'm just saying, yeah. We talked about this. We talked about this. I enjoyed
Are
the
you
movie, too.
saying that for Salma Hayek you will turn into Tony Atlas?
Hey! I don't know if our guests know what that means. I don't even want to touch that because that's just.
That's what it sounds like to me.
There's things I could compromise on, is what I will tell you.
Okay, that's fair. Katie from Dust Till Dawn.
It's currently my favorite movie in the shit Matt made Katie watch franchise going on since the inception of this channel. I liked the movie. I did not realize there was going to be a vampire movie. Because like Brandy said, like for the first half of a movie, it's like a hostage situation gone awry, shocker. And then they just end up at the club and all hell breaks loose and Salma Hayek's a vampire and what?
So it's a movie that takes place until they end up at a club and then you realize it's a vampire movie.
When the vampires show up, yeah.
Isn't that very similar to your first movie that you talked about? Would a juke joint not be a club?
Yeah, it technically is a club. Okay, but like, I knew Sinners was going to be a vampire movie going into it. I did not know From Dusk Till Dawn was a vampire movie going into this.
Fair.
So, And like Salma Hayek's beautiful, and George Clooney's beautiful. Tarantino's there. Everything else is fine.
All right. Kelly, what's next for you?
Blade.
Yes. This is specifically why I asked if having a vampire movie or having a vampire in a movie makes it horror or not, because there is some argument. There is some arguments because it's a comic book movie, whether this is actually one of Marvel's first horror movies or not. But yeah, no. Go ahead.
I mean, what can I say? I feel like everyone of a certain age loved Blade when it came out. It was so over the top. It's one of the bloodiest movies I have ever seen. Yes, thank you, Colin. Stephen Dorff, I love in that movie as Deacon Frost. And Wesley Snipes, obviously amazing. It's just so fun. It's just one of those, it's not that deep. And you just see a lot of people blowing up. And it's just a really fun ride.
I agree. Chris Christopherson is amazing as
Yeah.
Whistler.
Mm-hmm.
You also get Donald Logue in there, which he is the one that brings in the Horny vampire movie, along with Tracy Lords, who is a former porn star turned actress. At the very beginning, I actually prefer Blade 2 to the original.
That part.
Solid cast. Travis and I were actually just talking about this on Creation Conversation. I saw this, I think, with my uncle because I was underage at the point that this came out. And then he took me to go see Blade 2 in theaters when it came out. So that also might be why I love Blade 2 a little bit more. Vampires with the opening jaws and everything in Blade 2 was really cool to me. I'd never seen that.
It's a better film.
I know. I just really like. No, that's fair. I just really like Deacon Frost as a villain. He's just killing it, literally, in the first movie. So it was hard to see them miss him after that.
And the idea of the Blood God was really cool. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Did you since you do have physical media, if you ever looked at the Blade special features, there was a alternate version of the Blood God ending, which is a much sillier. That you should YouTube it after. It's clear why they didn't do it, but yeah, you should look into that.
I may have. It's been a while, like I said, since I've actually pulled the DVDs and Blu-rays out and looked at it. But what were you gonna say, Reek?
I was just gonna talk about the opening scene. Always does it that scene in the club, spraying blood.
So cool.
yeah, I loved everything about that whole scene in the beginning, even though I do also prefer part two. There's a lot about one that is just, it's like everything from 1 to 2, and then we could just skip everything after that. Except Ryan Reynolds. That's the only thing I will.
Who was
accept.
already playing Deadpool before he was playing Deadpool before he was actually playing Deadpool.
Exactly, and that is exactly why I say except Ryan Reynolds.
I'm a little
Without
burnt
that,
out
we
on
would
Ryan
not be
Reynolds.
here.
Yeah,
Burnt
a little
out.
burnt out on him, but
I understand.
he's fun though.
I've only ever needed him to play that role. And he could have done nothing else and played Deadpool, and we would have been totally fine.
Fair. Brandy, thoughts?
It's been some time since I've seen any of the Blade movies. I remember really not liking Blade 3 like at all. Just like that's the memory that sits like in my head. I thought Blade 2 was okay, but Blade was the one that really stuck out, especially just like the tortured aspect of Blade, to where just like if he doesn't like take this, I don't know if it's like elixir, I forget if it's elixir, if it's a pill or something to keep him from turning full vampire. So just that, always having that just kind of in the back of his mind, just like that whole just like I'm going to turn vampire, like if I don't keep up with this like medication elixir stuff, just like the tortured aspect I remember is what really appealed to me about Blade.
Triple H and his vampire Pomeranian is the worst part of that movie, but also so much fun.
But see, it's the thing. I like the dog. Triple H couldn't act for shit, but I like the dog. Because my thing is, if I can't differentiate you from what you are outside of the movie, you ain't acting. Triple H was just Triple H in a movie. That's really what that was.
Kind of like Dwayne is just Dwayne in all his movies.
Because he is.
Well, pending, because I think that this new movie, the Smashing Machine or whatever, might be his like.
That's because it's a biopic. Break. He has to be somebody else.
I'm just saying. If it's a role, it counts. But yeah, no. The dogs were. That's a nice little catch. You know, vampire dogs. And the Pomeranians was cute, so I give them a pass, not him.
My sister has had Pomeranians, and they are mean little things. Even like, so my daughter went to my parents for the weekend, and my sister also went up there, so I loaded her up in her car and let her take them. And she currently has Pomeranian, and my daughter would not get in the car until my sister grabbed the Pomeranian and taken her out, because she's like, Winnie's mean and I don't like her. Because they're vicious little creatures. They're vicious, tiny little creatures.
Most small dogs are.
Yeah.
True. Very true. And I know this. I have intimate knowledge of this as a mailman.
Yeah.
Katie, thoughts on Blade?
I think I've only seen them once all the way through. Couldn't tell you the last time I saw them, so I don't remember jack shit about these movies. All I know is that Wesley Snipes said there's never going to be another Blade, but like, give me a Blade.
I mean, I think he means other than him, because you know.
Yeah, because the Marvel Blade movie has been through hell and not come back.
Yeah, and I was excited for this, and
me too.
Yeah,
I sat through the entirety of Eternals, and then I got a Blade teaser, and then nothing happened.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate.
Rick,
but yeah, all you need to know is watch 2 over again. I'm in between 2 of them, but I'm sure no one else is gonna bring up this one, so I'm gonna go with my other, which is a little comedy, Vampire in Brooklyn. If everybody's ever seen that, that is. Listen, Eddie Murphy during that time period could not miss.
Oh, that one, got it.
But yeah, no, this one, like, I just you enjoy a little what's the terminology I'm looking for? A little crossover horror comedy, a little bit, but I enjoyed the little bit of range here. Like, Eddie wasn't just his typical, like, he was playing multiple characters in the movie like he tended to do, but yeah, no, it's got a nice little storyline to it. Auntie Angela was killing it. But yeah, no, it's very well put together, and like there's I think the ending where like he actually goes like full on vampire, everything like that was kind of cool too. Like we just it's very kind of playing homage to like a lot of the vampire movies of old. He's real sophisticated throughout majority of the movie up until the end, so it's like a lot of that going on too.
Has hair down.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Vampire in Brooklyn's good. Brooklyn's also a really cool setting for a vampire movie because
it is.
We talked about 30 Days of Night. You're in Alaska because of the nighttime and all of that, and you see all these different places. We've talked a bunch of period pieces and stuff like that. But a city setting, kind of like what we talked about with Blade, is also really fun setting to have a vampire movie in. And you get John Witherspoon and, like you said, Angela Bassett. And,
yes.
Yeah.
And dude, a guy shot him and he responded by ripping his heart out. That's some baller shit. I'm sorry.
How else are you supposed to respond to that?
I don't know, but that was some baller shit.
I had to look it up, but the movie I talked about earlier, Vampire's Kiss, also takes place in Brooklyn. And so similar horror comedy vibes.
That's Nicolas Cage, right?
Literally the craziest Nicolas Cage
performance
that has ever existed. Yeah. And trust me on this. I know he has a lot of crazy performances. Watch this movie and it will blow your mind with how wild his acting is.
Because that's the one where he does the meme.
Mandy, so.
Oh, dude. This is a crazy level of Cage.
That's the scene where he has like the meme, that face, right?
A lot of the memes come from that movie. And if you want to see Nicolas Cage think he's a vampire and buy like plastic shitty vampire who's supposed to bite someone, it is ridiculous. I love it so much. So.
All right. Has anyone else seen Vampire in Brooklyn?
No.
You must. It's a good time.
My next pick, getting back on track with horny vampire movies, Tales from the Crypt's Bordello of Blood.
I haven't seen that.
There are two Tales from the Crypt movies. Yep. There is Bordello of Blood and there is Demon Knight. I own them both. I enjoyed both of them. But Bordello of Blood has Corey Feldman in it. Yeah. This is a fun movie with a bordello set inside a funeral home. Very much of its time, but very fun. I enjoy the shit out of it. Angie Everhart is the lead vampire. I'll just go vampire. I feel like, it's gender neutral. Vampire.
Vampiress.
Fun as shit movie. I enjoy it.
I'm gonna put that on my list too. That sounds like my kind of thing.
Yeah. I don't recall Tales from the Crypt, but I don't think I saw that one.
I'm the only one that's seen Bordello of Blood.
What is that word you're saying? Bordello? Isn't that a beer?
Yeah. Do you know what a bordello is?
That's a beer.
No, it's a whorehouse.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, a bordello is a whorehouse. It's a fancy word for whorehouse.
Okay, just call it a whorehouse. Don't make it all fancy. It's fine.
Well, Whorehouse of Blood doesn't have the same ring to it as Bordello.
Are you sure? That sounds kind of cool.
Yeah. As a whore. I prefer Bordello. But yeah, no, like the whorehouse is inside like a funeral home. There's a whole thing to get there, and it's a whole fun premise and story. And
oh, okay. I think that's a choice for a whorehouse, but what do I know?
Well, they're vampires. They're all vampires in there, Katie.
Well, I mean, I guess it makes sense, but like it's a choice. I'm not saying it's the correct choice. It's a choice.
All right. Katie, what's next on your list? Or you got anything? We'll go around everyone one more time, and then we'll get out of here. So everyone grab one more movie up their list they really want to talk about, and then we'll call it.
I do, and it's not a good movie, but I enjoy it. No, Twilight's not a horror movie. We discussed this. Twilight's not horror.
Thank you.
It technically is a vampire movie, but it's also technically a werewolf movie. And again, it's not Twilight. It's
Yes.
Van Helsing.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Oh
I
my
thought you were going
God.
to steal mine. I was going to be very upset.
Listen, I am a Hugh Jackman girly. I love Hugh Jackman through and through.
Who doesn't love Hugh Jackman? I mean,
Exactly. Like, I've seen him in concert. Like, this man performs. It's great. You do get some Dracula type brides who are very beautiful in this movie. Now that I think about it, like, watching this as like a teen, it kind of makes sense to where I am now. But like everything about this movie is incredible, but like bad at the same time. Like the CGI is terrible for when Hugh Jackman becomes a werewolf. But like the effects for Dracula and the brides are really good. It's just one of those. It's like Friday the 13th. Like it's bad, but like it's good, and I'll watch it.
totally.
Or Freddy vs. Jason. Freddy vs. Jason is what I meant.
I love Van Helsing. For all the reasons you said. Also, I have a feeling that Reek is also going to talk about a Kate Beckinsale movie, from what he said.
Yeah, I'm
So
sure.
I'm sure we'll get there. But she was fantastic in this. It's just one of those dumb, fun movies.
It's
watch,
bad,
and
but it's good. I forgot
It's Hugh
about
Jackman.
it. And it's Hugh Jackman,
Yep.
a huge jacked man.
Of course. Of course. I like the mashup of all these different, monsters together that we get. It's a real nice
Frankenstein.
yeah. Not my favorite
Colin,
Dracula,
if you've got
but
some suggestions, go ahead and
not
drop them in the
bad.
chat.
Yeah, no, you can't really mess with Hugh Jackman.
Brandy, you got
So-
really excited when she said Van Helsing.
Yes. It's like, oh my gosh, like my mom is a very like huge Hugh Jackman fan, and so I pretty much seen every movie that he's been in just by proxy because of her. But this is the one that I remember going, oh my God, this is so much fun. It reminds me of just those. It reminded me. Well, the director that directed this also directed The Mummy, and that Van Helsing has the same feel, just very like over the top, like action, adventure, just fun. It's just a fun movie. I love it.
My wife loves The Mummy. Looks like executive producer on a lot of stuff. I thought Odd Thomas is really fun too, but he's a producer on that. And then G.I. Joe, which is weird to go like Van Helsing, The Mummy, Scorpion King, and then G.I. Joe.
Well, did he do the second G.I. Joe? Because Dwayne's in that, and that's a caveat. Dwayne.
Yeah, it looks like both of them. So
Oh, see, it's Dwayne. It's always Dwayne.
any more thoughts on Van Helsing?
It's been a long time since I saw it, but I do remember finding it really entertaining.
Same.
And I also remember liking the werewolf design. I feel like the werewolf designs vary so much in movies.
Yeah, they
And I was just gonna say I don't really like the humanoid werewolf style where it's mostly just like a hairy man. I prefer when it's like got the full snout and it's basically like a gigantic wolf like on its hind legs. Not like a Twilight wolf. I mean like it still has to be like standing up.
Not a tennis ball
No,
on a
I'm-
stick.
No.
I'm actually really glad you said that because I forgot about this, and that was my only real criticism from Bram Stoker's Dracula was when Dracula turns into the wolf. I was not a fan of the werewolf in that or their depiction of it. So
That's
Yeah,
fair.
that was very confusing. It's like, what? I understand that the shape shifting aspect like that's part of it, but like turns into the werewolf and then just like what's the friend? She just goes in there and just starts munching on her real quick. But I'm just like, yeah, you gotta pick one, buddy. Like you gotta. Yeah. Very confusing to me.
Brandy, what do you got?
Well, it's a show, but before it was a show, it was a movie, What We Do in the Shadows. And I love just the fact that it's a mockumentary, first of all, like following these vampires as they're trying to navigate the complexities of human life, just like socializing, making friends, paying bills. I just thought that that's the part that stuck out to me the most, just like absurd. Like, you're vampires, you can live forever. Why do you have to worry about paying your bills? You could just, like, you know, pick a house and be squatters. And I mean, just what are you doing? But I'm a big fan of mockumentaries anyway. The another one that's not a vampire movie that I really like is Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. It just, I love just like the mockumentary style of horror, and that's what really drew me to What We Do in the Shadows.
All right. I've watched some of the show. I know I've seen the movie, but it was a really bad experience, sort of thing. So I have not gone back to it because it always brings up weird memories of that. It was not a good time.
No.
I actually like the show more than the movie. We started watching the show and I was like, yeah, this is fun. It's silly. And then we tried the movie. And I don't know, it just doesn't hit quite the same. And it just wasn't quite my type of comedy. But the show I do think is fun.
I've heard a lot about like that it's pretty funny. I haven't actually
I feel like
gotten
you'd
to
really
check it
like it,
out,
Reek.
but I have a feeling I might. So I will put it on my list because I've heard a bunch about it. So I just never got around to checking it out.
Katie?
Oh, I've never seen it.
Okay.
I was surprised. Nobody should be surprised.
Well, yeah, because Reek and I introduced you to movies, so you only had about 4 years to get caught up. So
Exactly.
listen, you got to get caught up. But we're working on it. We're getting you there.
Go
Yeah.
now.
See that? I wasn't making it up, people.
Kelly, what do you got for your last movie?
The reboot of Fright Night.
With Colin Farrell.
Yes, I know. We talked a lot about Hugh Jackman, Colin Farrell in this movie. Wow. But yeah, no, this movie is just really fun. I know we keep saying everything is fun. It's fun to watch fun movies.
Vampires are fun.
Vampires are fun.
Yes.
R.I.P. Anton Yelchin. Actually forgot he was in this movie. For some reason because I just rewatched it. For some reason I was picturing like Jesse Eisenberg, which I'm glad it's not. It's Anton Yelchin. But and Imogen Poots from 28 Weeks Later and Disturbia is the girlfriend. And Toni Collette is the mom. And, you know, I'll watch anything she's in. Yeah, it's super campy. They actually do lean into some of the classic vampire tropes, like needing to be invited inside your house. Yeah, has anyone watched this recently?
Not this one. And I'm hesitant because of the reboot and because Fright Night was one of those that like it took me a while to watch because it genuinely got me. But then the fact that certain performances I don't want potentially ruined for me, like Chris Sarandon as the vampire in that movie. Like I just think like, and then it's no knocking Colin Farrell. I love Colin Farrell as an actor. It's just like I think, man, I'm gonna wind up comparing this, and I don't want to compare. So I've been hesitant, but
I like Colin Farrell better. Also, I've always had a problem with the original Fright Night because I cannot see Marcy as anyone but Marcy from Married with Children, even in this role. So there is that.
I love Colin Farrell. He's in one of my top 10 favorite non-horror movies, which is In Bruges. Which
That's
I probably watch like once a month because I love that movie. So yeah.
Brandy?
Nah. Haven't seen either of the Fright Nights, but my sister's actually ahead of the game of me on this one because she has seen both of them. It's like, so which one do you like better? She goes, oh, I like the one with Colin Farrell. She goes, I don't like the one that came out in the 80s. It's like she has had a very kind of like reaction to it. It's just like, okay, well, I'm gonna eventually end up checking both of them out anyway. They've been on my list for like a really long time.
I mean, so it's a challenging thing to make a satisfying reboot. of
Yes.
like a classic horror movie. So
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
we
they did it
know.
really well. I'm sure you do.
We know
Yeah,
that
I'm sure
all
you
too well here.
Yeah.
do.
I enjoy remakes for the most part. So, Reek.
Okay. My pick, my movie.
Mhm.
Unless you want to talk
Okay.
more about Fright Night.
Well, I mean, like I said, I didn't see this one, so I can't do it. So yeah. This was a movie that really got me back into vampires since Blade. I was genuinely hyped to watch it, and I have never stopped enjoying it ever since. And that is the Underworld franchise. Um, the very first one, right off the bat, I wasn't I wasn't really big into Kate Beckinsale. This was kind of my introduction to her, but I mean, just the aspect of having vampires going to war with werewolves, and then you have a very, very deep story embedded within it. Love that. Then you got a little love story that kicks off in there, and it goes on throughout, the franchise, and it's just a lot of dope shit that takes place in this movie and the ones after. I'd say this one in part two. Third one's it's a prequel. It tells the story of Celine's
Rise of the Lycans.
mother. Yeah, Rise of the Lycans. Yeah, it tells the story. They talk about what happens in the original movie, but the third movie, gives the whole picture of everything that happens. And then the two after that are kind of just some sequels. Yeah, I know. I wasn't crazy about it either. In fact, I don't really. I saw Blood Wars, the last one, the fifth one. I don't remember anything from it because it
There's
just didn't.
5 of them.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
I honestly, I don't even remember what. There was something like different, unique version of the hybrid vampire lycan
And the
combo
baby.
that was happening. Yes, there we go. Yeah, it was something. I remember something like, but I don't. I hardly remember it because I forced myself because obviously I enjoyed the franchise, but it wasn't it. Like Awakening was where we kind of started going like this. But,
Travis and I literally just talked about this and
yeah.
agreed. The first 3 movies are great. After that, the whole franchise
Yeah.
kind of went downhill. The only gripe that I have is I wish that vampire werewolf hybrid looked a little cooler than it did when they did it. Because the werewolves looked so cool in this.
Yeah.
And then he just kind of had gray skin.
He looked like Nightcrawler.
A little
And
bit.
It's
So
like.
Oh.
Which is like,
Yeah, it's
it's like I could see where they were going, but it's like, it wasn't the right combination. This wasn't. I'm sorry.
I agree. Thoughts on Underworld?
I think I've only seen the first one, and it was so long ago. So I don't even really remember if I liked it or not.
It's still the best one. 2's good, not great. I like 3, and the fact that they found an actress who so closely resembles Kate was crazy. Because I genuinely thought she was playing the mother until I actually read the cast. Like,
isn't it Rona Mitra?
It's Googleable.
Is Kate only in the first 2?
No, she's in Element with Step 3.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Rona
So I've
Mitra.
never seen them, so
Yeah, they had me fooled because I really thought that was her for a second. Like, that was some good ass casting.
I know her from Kevin Bacon, Invisible Man.
What?
We just talked about this.
Hollow Man.
Yeah,
Hollow
yeah,
Man,
Hollow
yes.
Man.
That's what I know Rona Mitra.
Who does she play in that movie?
The one that he strangles to death in front of her nightstand.
oh, just normal things.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Just normal
Oh,
things.
okay. Damn.
Well, she's getting ready for bed.
Yeah.
Katie, I'm assuming by all the faces you were making, you've never seen an Underworld movie.
Are you kidding?
I remember a point in my life where I told myself I would watch these movies, and then I never did. You know, I say I'll get around to it. I don't know. I'm currently trying to watch a lot of things. I know, but
apart from those latter sequels that we talked about, you will not regret watching at least the first two. Yeah, no, I mean, listen, you can watch the first one and be done with it if you really wanted to, because it generally doesn't really get better than that. But there is a little more. Like, you could watch the prequel in the first one to get the full scope of the stuff that goes on.
Okay, I mean, we'll see. I'm trying to watch a lot of shit right now, so we'll see.
Oh my god, there's so many movies to watch, aren't there?
There really
it's
are.
movies, it's shows.
So many, and like for us too, it's like video games also. It's like there's so much content. Oh my god.
I'm one person.
Brandy, do you have any thoughts on Underworld before I gave my last movie?
I've only ever seen the first one myself, and it's one of those ones where it's my brother had a thing for it, and so he watched it over and over and over again. So I'm just like, oh my god! But I have some distance from it to where I could go back and revisit it again. But I remember just like it was all right. Like I really liked the whole aspect of the war between the werewolves and the vampires. To me, that was the most interesting kind of plot to that movie.
I just realized something. I have not seen What We Do in the Shadows, and I'm actually going to add that to my list. I was thinking Dark Shadows with Johnny Depp. That's the movie that
I was thinking that too. Okay, so I'm glad it wasn't just me.
Oh yeah,
okay.
Yeah. No. It's got the director. He directed Thor Ragnarok and Thor Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I'm going to add that to my list now because I actually haven't seen that. Some honorable mentions, real quick, because I feel like if anyone watches this, we're going to get yelled at for not mentioning things like Lost Boys.
I was wondering if anyone was going to say that.
There's also John Carpenter's Vampires. Shout out to John Carpenter. Daybreakers with why am I blanking out on his name?
Is it Ethan Hawke?
Ethan Hawke. Yeah, Ethan Hawke. That was a fun take. Mm-hmm. But mine, I don't think anyone would think of as a vampire movie, but when I tell you, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, there are definitely vampires in it. Trick or Treat.
Oh yeah. Because isn't Anna Paquin one of the vampires?
Yeah.
Oh, that's such a good one. That's a good one.
Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch.
No.
Damn it.
Trick or Treat's just a good horror film in general. I gotta watch that again, honestly.
I love Trick or Treat.
It's fun.
It's so fun.
And actually, I think it's I think Anna Paquin and that group. I think they're
the werewolves.
Oh, okay.
It's the dude that they kill, the father who kills the boy next door.
Oh yeah. Oh, I need to rewatch that too. Yeah, I like it so much.
I'm gonna go Trick or Treat because Trick or Treat's absolutely fucking fantastic.
Yeah,
and I love Sam.
It is.
I'm looking here to see if there's anything else that I'm like, oh yeah, we should probably mention that, but
nah.
I mean, Nicolas Cage also did Renfield. If you want to watch another Nicolas Cage
vampire
movie,
it's not a horror movie.
Zoe likes Hotel Transylvania, my daughter. So there's that.
Also not a horror movie, but we fuck with Hotel Transylvania. Shout out to Adam Sandler.
I mean, it's yeah.
Hey! Let the kid have a pick.
And I actually watched both of these. So I watched the remake of Salem's Lot, and then I went and watched the original Salem's Lot. I enjoyed the remake more than I did the original, probably because I hadn't seen it when Salem's Lot was a big deal. But shout out to Stephen King and his vampire.
Yeah, I
didn't know that was vampires.
I was hoping someone would bring that up too. Like, yeah.
Didn't know that was vampires.
You guys got anything else vampire-wise we want to bring up, talk about, or throw out there before we get out of here? More. I can't do that with you. I can't.
No.
2 thumbs down.
I'm mostly kidding. First of all, I know it's not a horror movie, and also I know
Be a
it's garbage.
dishonorable mention.
I know it's garbage. I know it's garbage, but yeah, you know what? I love shitty movies, like, and I'm not saying this is a good movie. It's one of the like so bad that you like have to see it to believe it kind of movie. And we just laughed our asses off for the whole thing. Like, it's so stupid.
That's fair.
It's not an actual recommendation, to be clear. It sucks.
Oh, I know.
But get really, really drunk and watch it with a friend, and it's kind of fun. So.
2 major issues that I have that will lead to me still to this day never watching that movie. Number 1.
Only 2?
Yes. And this is all I need. This is all I need.
Well, he hasn't seen the movie yet. This is the 2 things that keep him from watching it.
Yeah. Number one. Yes. See, you're up here. You're up here. Jared Leto cannot do Marvel or DC movies. Number 2. I grew up watching the animated Spider-Man movie, so I like the character of Michael Morbius a lot. You cannot do this movie wrong and expect me to even come close to watching. I watched the trailer, and I said, I won't spend money. I won't spend my free tickets that I get through the app. I won't do none of that to sit and watch this movie. No.
Oh, it would make you so angry. Oh,
I'm sure. I could feel it. I'm just like, nope, no way. Sorry.
All right.
I mean, like, you can watch that and as a double feature with Madam Web.
Oh, listen.
Oh.
I was not going to watch that either. My dad got me to watch because he got me into comics. So I told him, like, this is going to be terrible. You're not going to like it. I went through it. He said, oh, it's free. Let's watch it. Okay. 30 minutes in. Hey, this movie kind of sucks. Oh, well.
Oh, crazy. It's almost like
Surprise.
I like Madam Web more than the Tom Hardy Venom movies.
Whoa.
Hey,
hold on.
Your tongue.
Oh,
so my wife is absolutely in love with Tom Hardy, which isn't an issue.
As she should be.
Obviously.
Yeah.
He sounds drunk in every role that he does.
I know, but that's what makes it fun.
It bugs the shit out of me.
It's
he
so
sounds
funny.
Drunk
He
in
wasn't drunk as
everything.
Bane, liar.
No, he
You're
had
like-
a mask on and a voice synthesizer, so you couldn't hear the drunk.
But he wasn't drunk. He didn't sound drunk.
He
sounded like a
mumbles.
robot.
He mumbles his way through all the Venom movies, and like I said, we watch it with subtitles because like we saw those in the theater because Nirvana's a huge Venom fan. There's actually a bunch of Venom figures behind me that you probably can't see. We know they're not good movies, but we like them for how stupid they are. Again, especially Venom 2. But he mumbles so much. You have to have the subtitles on because we're like, what the hell was that line that he just said? Like,
And
sometimes the subtitle doesn't even know.
Yeah. and to be fair, a drunk sounding Tom Hardy Eddie Brock is 1,000 times better than that 70s Eddie Brock. Just throwing that out there. It's absolute garbage. Another thing that Tobey Maguire and what his performances did for me as a kid inspired that dictated me watching the third movie.
No,
Had I known where that was going, we might not have sat in the theater.
For the record, I deeply love the Sam Raimi trilogy, but I hear you. He's the weakest element of it. Like,
Yeah. I enjoyed it for the most part.
We have to get out here. I'll drop a controversial take backstage off air. But Brandy, this is your first time here. I want to thank you for joining us. It was a blast having you. Please tell everyone where they can find your show and enjoy what you do.
You can find me on YouTube. Search for the Terrorific Lady or Retro Horror School. You will find me there. I talk lots about horror movies. I analyze horror movies, characters, anywhere from the 70s through the 2010s. It's just like, so if you just like learning about horror, like from that era, just come on by. You can also find me on Threads and Instagram at Terrorific Lady. So yeah, join us.
Thank you, Colin. Thank you, Colin. Yes, join us. You also have a Discord, right?
I do, yes. And if you go to my Instagram and Threads, you will find the link to my Discord just like in my profile.
There you go. Kelly, final girls.
Nice to meet you, Brandy. Good to see you guys again, Matt, Katie, and Reek. Thank you again so much for having me for the third time. I really enjoyed this, and I had to do that thing that I had to do last time since Sarah wasn't here, is look up our socials because she's the one who always says this part. So you can find us on Blue Sky at Final Girls Podcast, on Instagram at Final Girls the Podcast, or just go to our website final-girls.com, and then you can just find all of our like Spotify, Pocket Casts, like everything is linked from there.
And if you go in the description of this video, you will find both Brandy's Linktree and the link to the Final Girls website there. So you can just click there and go and see all the fun stuff they do. Reek, go ahead.
Yeah. Yes, sir. You can find me at ReekHavoc24 on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, the Havoc Hour, the precursor to the show. My Linktree /ReekHavoc. You find everything for that. YKWrestling.com for all of Young King's wrestling content. I actually just finished up an episode about 2 hours ago, just before I got on here. So that'll be a nice little doozy, because live commentary in there too.
There you go. Katie.
You can follow me on Twitter, KatieWrestling13, the Linktree in my bio to take everything SheElite Showcase, twitch.tv/SheElite Showcase, and youtube.com/SheElite Showcase. Typically Thursdays, 6 p.m. Eastern-ish, except this week we're going at 7:30-ish, maybe. I don't know. We're going an hour later than we normally do. I'm just super nice and go by Savannah's schedule. New episode out now. We did wrestlers as Batman villains, so if you like Batman, you like a little bit of wrestling, you can watch that. Yeah, and then I'm here all the time, so
She literally is here all the time, and I appreciate her. She'll be here twice tomorrow. Once for a little a full spoiler review of Final Destination Bloodlines, and then after NXT Battleground for our Smasher Pass of Battleground and AEW Double or Nothing. So that'll be fun.
oh fuck, I forgot to have 1-0 tomorrow. Damn it.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
You guys can follow
saying
me. There's a lot going on this weekend. You guys can follow me on Twitter at MattRidders, MattRidders for your wrestling content, at Getting Off for your horror content, and everywhere else. TikTok, Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky at Smackin' It Raw, and that'll get you both your wrestling and horror content there. For the Terrorific Lady Brandy, one half of the Final Girls, Kellie, Dr. Reek Baker, and my co-host, Miss Katie Kinsey Bay. I am the patron saint of podcasting, the Warden Matt Ritter. Colin, thank you for joining us tonight. I'm glad you had fun, and you have gotten off.